out, please.
Over here, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Thank all of you for being here today. We have assembled members of the Select Committee. We've conducted our first hearing for the committee. We heard from 4 law enforcement people who put their lives on the line in defense of the United States Capitol, the men and women who worked there. It was riveting testimony, as you can possibly imagine. We're thankful for their testimony. It sets the right tone for the work of this committee, but it also says that there's significant work that we have to do over the next few months. Again, let me thank the 4 officers who committed themselves to testimony. It was important that we talk to the rank and file officers. As you know, several committees has had opportunities to talk to leadership in the Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police, but this was an opportunity we felt necessary in order to find out what those individuals who had to fight the rioters on January 6th had to endure. So we're happy to have heard the testimony. We're disappointed in so many of the challenges they've had to endure during and after from a health standpoint, family standpoint. But in addition to that, I want to thank the members of the committee for their participation. Their questioning and everything was on point. I'd like to offer Congresswoman Cheney an opportunity to make a statement.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I echo everything the chairman has said. I think this was a really important opportunity to get some facts on the table and to hear directly from heroes who defended us that day. Also to begin to set out the task ahead of us and to really be able to do this in a nonpartisan fashion, which is clearly the spirit that every member of this committee has and with which we'll do our job. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congresswoman Cheney, something you said that...
Hold on. We will entertain questions.
Congresswoman Cheney, it's something you said at the onset of this hearing. You said we must also know what happened every minute of that day in the White House, referring to the Trump White House. He said every phone call, every conversation, every meeting leading up to, during, and after the attack. Why, first of all, why do you think that is so central to this investigation? And is there agreement among the chairman to go down this road?
The chairman has said, everyone has said very clearly the investigation is going to go wherever it may lead. And obviously the events of that day at the White House are a focus, and making sure that we get to the bottom of everything that went on every minute of the day is something the American people deserve.
The 4 officers, if you heard my last question, we asked them what would they like to see from this hearing. And they, without exception, said we'd like to know who participated in it, who financed it, who encouraged it, who orchestrated it. And part of that is the challenge of this committee. And so we will follow the facts. And as I look at the committee, and I said to them earlier, I don't see one shrieking Violet, although we have one member who has a daughter named Violet. But other than that, we'll follow the facts.
To that end, Mr. Chairman, you guys are about the House supposed to go home for 7 weeks after this week. How do you build on this? What do you do next?
Well, we now have a body of testimony that we will review. We are in the process of putting that together. I've put some of the members on notice that they won't enjoy the entire August recess. But we will give them time to work in their districts, but conceivably, we could come back before the end of the August recess and
For
do some
another
additional work. Yes.
Congressman Cheney and Congressman Kinzinger, what do you say to Republicans who are now calling for you to be stripped of your committee assignments as a result of you serving on this committee through an appointment by Speaker Pelosi?
All I have to say to that is we had a big attack on January 6th. We heard very emotional testimony today. And that's what's on the forefront of my mind. And if people want to get petty, that's fine. I think that reflects more on people than it does on the situation at hand. This is a historic moment, and this is a democracy-defending moment. And no matter the consequences, me and I know Liz will stand and defend democracy.
Last question. This morning, Leader McCarthy and some of your colleagues were out in front of the Capitol. Their basic message, and I'm boiling it down, was what did Nancy Pelosi know and when did she know it? Some of your other colleagues were down at the Justice Department or will be defending January 6th prisoners. What's your read on what other members of your conference are doing with their messaging today?
Look, almost every member of the Republican conference understood in days immediately after January 6th what had actually happened, and many of them said so publicly. And the fact that many members of our leadership and others, the fact that they've gone from recognizing what happened on the 6th to protesting in front of the Justice Department on behalf of those who were part of the insurrection is something that I can't explain. I think it's a disgrace, and I know that this committee will be focused on getting to the truth of what happened in a non-political, non-partisan way. This is not a political campaign. This is deadly serious, and we'll investigate. We'll investigate every aspect.
Should Leader McConnell also testify? What was your next hearing?
Well, we've not set any additional hearings. We will be discussing over the next several days about what our August recess will look like, and at that point, we'll announce it to the public.
Should Leader McConnell testify in front of your
Thank you.
committee?
Chairman Thompson, do you want former Trump administration Justice Department officials to testify?